Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao Namaste. Peace to all. This is Soulology, the science of the soul. And I want to discuss simply with you the game that you are playing right now. And you're probably thinking to yourself, what game am I playing? You are playing a game of non-originality. You're probably thinking to yourself, what do you mean by that? Everything I'm doing is original. So here, let me make it a bit more clear for you. You live in a world of infinite ideologies, infinite universes, infinite earths, infinite planets, galaxies, and so on and so forth. And there are many infinite universes that don't have life and many infinite universes that do have life. And there are many that play parallel universes to who we are that are just a bit different. And then there are infinite universes that are completely different from what we are. You are playing a game right now. And the name of the game is simple. You are learning to remember who you are in this waking moment to create something you either desire to create, shift, twist just a little differently than what you previously may have done, or so on and so forth. You are literally creating the bounds of that. So nothing in this world is original. You think it's original for the simple fact that you can't seem to remember. And you can't remember it because you don't think on that level that you live infinitely. And all that is infinite is happening right now. Constantly and consistently. Even as I talk, there's another infinite version of me saying the same thing in a different way, so on and so forth. You are infinitely doing the same thing, whether you're watching this, whether you're cooking for your family, whether you're going out to play some sports, whether you're going out to play video games, whether you're making a painting, whether you're working, whatever you're doing, even as it is here, it is happening somewhere else. So we have a fear. We have a fear that things, as I've heard before, are going to hell in a handbasket, as they say. You have to remember, your ideology of what you comprehend as your nirvana, your heaven, your paradise, whatever you want to call it, is right here. There is no other. There are plenty of other dimensions and different versions and different ways of this, but there are no others. So what is all the meaning of this if life's a game for you to play, in a sense? As in my later videos of taking life seriously and not taking life seriously, it's up to you on creating a better life for yourself, creating your health, wealth, your mentality, your spirituality, and beyond that, and understanding how far you can truly take that. Not allowing anything to stop you from those thought processes that you feel that there's no possible way I can do X, Y, and Z, when that is truly an impossible statement. And the reason why it's impossible is because of the fact that you've already done it in some way, shape, or form. The question is, do you remember? What do you choose? You've done this all before. And to add on to this, you are and I love this. I was inspired by a movie I was watching to understand this more clearly. You are connected by what would be called quantum strings. These quantum strings, or if you like, these strings that you can find very, very tiny. These quantum strings connect to you like DNA. They're in the air, they're everywhere. and they're constantly everywhere, because the further and further you become smaller and smaller, the more you start to see. There are universes and other things that are literally connected to you. You are, as they say, the universe. Literally. You are extremely connected to everything, as a computer is connected to the screen, the servers, the memory drive, and everything. But it's on a more intricate and more infinite scale. And yet, it's finite. And that's the impressive thing about it, because there's only one of it. But yet, it splits itself into many, which is you and me and you being the same thing. So, you might be asking yourself, well, if that is the case, that the world is a game, then how do I understand the game? That would depend up to you on how you go about it. So I'm going to give you a simple ideology, a suggestion in a sense of what I understand from my own experience. But I will put on top of that, that I would highly suggest you find your own ideology of what works for you. You can try whatever I say, in a sense, but there might be something that is better for you, that works more for you to grow who you are as a person. Meditation does help. Meditation helps because it keeps the mind focused. It allows you to grow and understand the self within, and understanding the self, which is you. Also, eating healthy does help, especially when and it's not the end all be all. Whether I'm vegan or not, I will not say it's the end all be all for everybody, but I will say this. You have to be willing to find what works for your body, and growing and making sure you are healthy and strong. And this is why I tell people go vegan. But at the same time, if that is not your ideology, you need to find something that works to keep your health maintained and consistent. You cannot expect to fully work this body correctly if you're not in good health. So we just mentioned meditation in the body. So what about the soul? That's where the inner standing comes in that connection of both those sides. But on top of that, what I would suggest to people, taking your time into nature. Why should you go into nature? How is the game going to help you? You are usually so much surrounded by electronics day in and day out that you do not know a way where you can focus yourself, your body, of who you are, to just take in silence. Take in the energy around you, natural energy from nature, not the electronic radiation that is coming from your computer, your phone, your TV, your game systems, whatever you have, but focusing purely on the energy that is natural to you. You can normally do what you do. Yes, you can keep doing that. You can meditate like that. And just let me say this, it will take longer. That's all. It's up to you. That does not mean you won't get there. It might just take longer. But you'll get there. However, when you are naturally with nature and connecting on that energy field, that is your energy. You can amplify it. Of course, there are other ways you can amplify it. And we've talked about, you can, for example, going raw vegan. When you are eating those types of energies, or eating fruits and vegetables of that nature just raw as they are, it does change the mindset. Fasting, whether it's intermittent fasting or perhaps fasting for a few days completely, it does change the body and the way it works. Water, just drinking water, that does change the body and how it works. Looking into those physiologies, hemp does the same thing, or cannabis. It changes the physiology of how you think. For many people, of course, we got people who might just be couch potatoes. But if you're on a more higher scale of understanding yourself, what it can possibly do is open up levels of chakra. It can open up the kundalini in growing who you are, and possibly make you think much quicker, much more of certain things in your mind on a deeper field. So, you are in a game. Nothing is original, but you create what you desire in this waking moment because it's infinitely happened. That does not mean that that's a bad thing. That, then there's no point. If there was no point, you would have never been on this planet to forget in the first place. So create anew, to make something amazing and astounding of who you are. You are more amazing than you can imagine. Again, I tell people, if you knew how beautiful, how amazing, how magnificent, how divine you were, you'd smile a lot more about who you are. Remember, you are the gods, the goddesses, and creators within. You are amazing. Never forget that. So to everybody out there, have a good morning, a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. Namaste.